Hey everyone, and welcome to the new series on Email List Segmentation 101. This is part one of the series, so let's jump in and get started. So what is email list segmentation? Well, put simply, it's a marketing tool. It's a very powerful marketing tool that a lot of people don't utilize as well as they should and don't take advantage of all of the benefits they can get from it. So you can go in and select single segments of your list based on the criteria that you set. And that allows you to work with only that single segment of data. So why is segmentation important? Great question. Based on studies by email list service providers, segmenting your list can drastically increase your open and click-through rates. And as you can see from this little graphic I just dropped in, the open rates are over 14% higher than non-segmented campaigns. But here's something way more important than even that. If you look at the line below, clicks, 100% higher than non-segmented campaigns. 100% higher, that's huge. So your clicks are going to be something like where they're clicking in your email, obviously, but think your call to actions. You have a call to action because you're running a sale on one of your books. They're going to click. The higher the click rate, the more they're actually responding to your call to action. And that is a huge thing with our newsletters, is getting people involved and engaged with them. And the more people opening your emails equals more engaged readers and subscribers. And that is always going to be a good thing for us as authors. So as an author, why should I care? And that is a great question, because really as authors, we tend to have a fairly limited amount of time, especially in the beginning of your author career, to actually devote to voting to build your business. Because, a lot of us have our day jobs still or are running businesses or any number of things. So even more than the statistics, segmenting gives you a fantastic opportunity to give value to your subscribers in a way that's relevant to them. Because let's face it, this is about them, not about us and what we want. This is about what our readers want and what our readers are getting from this little relationship that we have with them. And like I said, let's be very, very clear. If you are not giving value to your subscribers as an author, or as any business for that matter, they're not going to stay on your list for long. They are not going to stay as a subscriber. And why should they? Because you're not giving them a good reason to stay. So segments, groups, and tags, oh my. So it can get really confusing between all of the terminology, all of the different data functions and analytics that you have available to you just based on the data that you have in your list. It can be really confusing and overwhelming. And a lot of people, once they start digging into the nuts and bolts of it, get really confused or overwhelmed, and then they just don't. They just like, whatever, it's not that big a deal, I don't need it. And that's a mistake, it really is, because there's so much that you can do with your list. So let's break it down and keep it simple. So segments are subscribers based on their behaviors. For example, where are they subscribed from? Did they come onto your list from, Prolific Works, Insta-Freebie, or from a newsletter swap, or from Facebook, or whatever source they came in from, for example. Groups are subscribers based on their interests. And you've all seen this, especially as authors. You'll go onto a site, you put in your name, your email address, and then you have like a series of check boxes that you can select. For example, like for your favorite genres of books to read. Those are groups. Those favorite genres that you enjoy, those would be groups. Tags. Now, tags are your own personal info and notes internal to your list. And I'm going to date myself here just a wee bit. Back in the day, when we still used these little itty bitty paper address books. Of course, we had names and addresses and phone numbers in there, but for some people, we would actually go back in and just jot a couple little notes, a birth date, or a spouse's name, or a kid's name, or an anniversary, or something like that, just so that we kind of keep track of all of that stuff. This is way back before the smartphones, folks, so for you younger folks, yes, this is a thing. Ask your parents, they'll know. But that is information that you can use that's internal to your list, that you add to your list. And how that works for us as authors is, for example, if they've contacted you about something directly, or if they are an ARC reader or a potential ARC reader or beta reader or something like that. So now what can I do with segmentation as an author? Let's say you want to give away a free novella or a chapter or a prequel on a service like Prolific Works, which you may recognize the name Insta Freebie. They recently changed their name to Prolific. Let's say people signed up, got onto your list using the standard page form that's on your website. Or maybe they got onto your list from the embedded form on your Facebook page. You can track where they came onto your list from. Let me say that again. You can track where they came from, how they got onto your list. So how does knowing that help me as an author? Based on where the subscriber came from, you can custom tailor the onboarding email sequence they receive. Okay, that is hugely important. Okay, let me say that again. You can custom tailor the onboarding email sequence they receive. Those automatic emails that go out when you join a list, you can custom tailor those to that specific person based on where they came from, how they got onto your list. For example, if they got the freebie from Prolific, maybe the first email gives them, hey, here's the link to the download in case you hadn't downloaded it yet. And thank you so much for checking out my work. I can't wait to hear what you think about it, etc. Or let's say they got onto your list from a newsletter swap. Maybe that first email mentioned something about the author friend with whom you swapped newsletters. Maybe that author friend has one of their books on sale and you can do a shout out to them and say, hey, don't forget, author XYZ over here still has their book on sale. Don't forget to go check that out. And thank you so much for joining my list while you're at it. The email feels personal and like it was written to them. Okay, and that's big, guys. I mean, you all know this. I don't need to tell you this. There's going to be no generic, impersonal, cookie cutter emails here. Um, when you get a cookie cutter, generic, bland email, what do you pretty much do with it? You delete, or you just kind of tune out and don't even pay attention to it. But if you get something that feels like it's genuinely written to you, you tend to stand up and take a little bit more notice of that. And that's what you can do here without actually having to type an email to every single person individually. So this is a huge, huge thing that you can do with list segmentation. But that's great. How can that help me grow my author business, right? And that is the $1,000,000 question right there, isn't it? So basically, let's say you have a list of 10,000 subscribers, okay? And doesn't that sound great, right? And one of your goals for the next year is to double your list or more. How do you do that? How do you know where to focus your energy, your effort, and yeah, your money to get the best return on investment? Because all of those things, effort, energy, and money, tend to be pretty finite resources for most of us, especially as authors. So take a look at this. And this is just based on the 10,000 subscribers because that's a good round even number to work with. So let's say 50%, you go in and look at your segments and your groups, and 50% of those you saw came in from a freebie source like Prolific. And maybe another 20% came in from newsletter swaps, and 15% came from the little pop-up form that shows up on your website. And only 10% came in from the standard, website page form. And then maybe 5% or even probably less came in from your embedded form on Facebook. Translate those into percents, into real numbers, and you have an instant report on where you need to be focusing your effort. Get rid of the stuff that doesn't work, focus on what works, okay? And what works is not going to necessarily be the same for every single person. You need to know what works for you with your author business, which is very different than my author business or anybody else's author business. So if you know that 50% of your new subscribers came in from the freebie source, then you can say, okay, well, maybe I need to offer another freebie, right? Or maybe I could use my existing freebie in new ways. Maybe I could get my existing freebie into new author giveaway groups that is going to get it in front of new readers that have never heard of me. Or maybe I could use my freebies in conjunction with my newsletter swap and get my freebie in front of those readers that have never heard of me that are on other authors' lists. So you can use this data to literally plan and strategically plan how to grow your business and your list for the next year. Huge, huge, guys. Don't miss that opportunity. So wow, Stace, this is pretty cool. Okay, guys, come on, I had to do it. But it's very cool information once you start getting into it. So now this is just part one of our email list segmentation series. And don't worry, the entire series is not going to be just me talking over, cute little PowerPoint slides. This first one is just to kind of give you the background info, a little bit of terminology, just kind of getting your feet wet and giving you a little bit of an idea of what you can do with it and how cool and powerful it actually can be. So definitely make sure to check back for the rest of the series because you're going to actually get to see us put it into action. Um, Not just words, you're going to get to see me actually do this with you. You're going to get to look over my shoulder. We're going to do a nice little screen share. You're going to get to see me actually go into a MailChimp list and do a basic segmentation so that you can see how to do it yourself. So definitely keep checking back on this particular series because we're going to get into a lot of really awesome stuff. Now, if you like what you see, as always, go down below here and buy me a cup of coffee down below because any of you who know me or have followed me for any length of time know that I am a coffee hound. I'm actually on my second big tankard of coffee here today. So yeah, go buy me a cup of coffee. I would love that. Thank you. And if you want even more, I am an author coach with the Author Boss Academy. So definitely come join us and check us out over at authorbossacademy.com. And on Facebook, you can get into our open group there on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/author lab, author like a boss, author lab. So definitely come join us over there on Author Like a Boss on Facebook. Drop us a hi. Let us know how you're doing in your author business and what we can do to help you out. And like I said, if you want even more, I am one of the coaches in the Author Boss Academy. Come check us out there as well. So until part 2 of our Segmentation 101 series, I will see you later. Bye.